Good morning. Good morning. Happy Easter. Welcome to Superconscious Sundays. I am Karen Terrace, the Dragon Doula. I am a metaphysical strategist, superconscious leadership mentor, heart womb creatrix, and here to teach the whole planet how to truly know your worth as a fractal of the divine, incarnated here in physical form to live your legendary life. Yes, you right here watching, you are here to be a legend. You are here to change the planet. You are here to shift all of global consciousness. And I am here to guide you on even just a little bit of that journey, showing up every single week, giving you high octane, delicious, potent dragon energy to help you on your journey. So, for those of you who have had Kundalini awakenings, for those who are experiencing their psychic gifts, for those of you who feel like you are a walking, talking prophet here on the planet, but don't really know what it is that you're supposed to be doing, that's why I'm here. So excited to have you here. Make sure that you say hi when you jump on. Love to know that you're here. We're going to start by lighting our candle. Today, we are going to be talking about the resurrection of you, the Ka body or light body, how Jesus Christ or Yeshua was actually able to transcend and go through the portal of death, how you yourself can have those same superpowers. And then at the end, we're going to do a delicious, amazing golden dragon light body activation to help you really start connecting to yourself as dragon, or the dragon, the Christ as you. So go ahead and get started by lighting our candle just to create a sacred space and time right here, right now, for us to gather together, either live on the replay, and really connect to the divinity within, knowing ourselves as source, incarnated as physical beings here on this planet for the ascension of consciousness to help an entire planet jump two-dimensional shifts and to live our legendary lives. So go ahead and have our candle right here. Grab our incense from the same flame we light our incense. Just doing a little bit of clearing, going ahead and weaving this in the figure eight motion, bringing all singularities into the, sorry, all polarities into the singularity, and creating this sacred container, this sacred time and space for us to connect. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. So, the resurrection of Yeshua. Okay. So we know today is Easter. We know that today is the day that we celebrate a miracle occurring in the Christian faith, where Jesus Christ, or you'll hear me refer to him as Yeshua throughout the rest of this, um, died. Right? He was killed and crucified on Friday, and then rose from the dead on Sunday morning. And Mary Magdalene was the one who found him. Well, she didn't find him. She found that the tomb was empty, right? And was like, what in the heck? We rolled a giant rock in front of it. So I really wanted to come and talk to you all about maybe a little more understanding of how this is actually possible, especially for those of us who are super conscious, who are working with our psychic abilities, who are strengthening our light body, who have experienced a Kundalini awakening, who actually understand how to use our energy in very different, powerful ways compared to the common man or woman, like just the common person who's not watching this live stream right now, who's just who is continuing to choose to listen to the mainstream. I know that that's not you, or you wouldn't be watching. So we'll be talking a little bit about how did that work? How did Yeshua actually pass through the portal of death? And the way he was able to do that is by strengthening his Ka body, or his light body, his prana, his chi, whatever it is, whatever word works for you, the energy filled within him and surrounding him. And mostly he was doing that, he was doing it his whole life. Literally, he was trained in Egypt and Mesopotamia and India and parts of Tibet to that's where he's gone. Like you literally read the Bible, he's gone from age 8 to age 30. Where the heck do you think he was? He was out in the world experiencing the magic, learning how to strengthen his body, learning how to perform miracles, learning how to raise the dead, learning how to use his own sexual energy, his own creation energy to then create other things, to be able to feed thousands of people, to be able to cure the lepers and all of those things, right? We hear about all of the different miracles that he performed, and we act as if this is only one person that could ever do that, and it's not. We actually see these sorts of miracles all over the world. You just have to read. You just got to go look for it, right? So Mary Magdalene, how does she play into this? All of a sudden, everyone's talking about Mary Magdalene. No one was talking about her when the Da Vinci Code was written. It was this huge scandal, and now everyone and their mom is talking about Mary Magdalene. So who was she really? Why does she matter? Especially when it comes to the resurrection. Mary Magdalene was Jesus Christ, or Yeshua's lover, possibly wife, and they worked together for 3 years, in which time she had two jobs. She had one job, which was to initiate Yeshua by helping him learn how to raise his Ka body, which we'll talk about how she did that in just a second, and to be the woman who loved the man. Her role was to stand with him during many, many different of the things that we hear. So Sermon on the Mount, she's actually was there. And she was there when they raised Lazarus. There were often times that she was there helping Jesus, Yeshua, with the miracles, but because it was so dangerous for her as a woman in this time to be seen as a holy person, there's a lot of accounts of just amnesia where they didn't remember Mary Magdalene being there. They just remembered Yeshua being there, but she was there. And you can see this through all sorts of different channel texts. The Magdalene manuscript is a great one. Revelations is also a really amazing one. The Magdalene Revealed is a little bit harder to get through, but also a really great book. So those are all three different books that all talk about Mary Magdalene from this different perspective, that she wasn't just some whore, that she actually was a trained priestess of Isis and was highly, highly trained in the sex magic of Isis and the alchemies of Horus. This is where she became absolutely quintessential to Yeshua's resurrection. When they came together, when they were making love, when they were coming together in a sexual way, they were strengthening each other's Ka bodies through the Kundalini energy known as the four serpents. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to you guys all about a Kundalini awakening, and we were able to work with our own two serpents that are within our bodies, right? The left side has the feminine black serpent, and the right side has the masculine solar golden serpent. And we can weave them within our own bodies, and you can feel them when you're meditating. You can feel this energy moving through your body. When you have the ascension symptoms, you know where the Kundalini is blocked. Your throat gets all tight, you're coughing, you're hacking, or you get really bad stomach issues, whatever it is. We are aware of what the Kundalini is. We understand light force and we understand chi. Sex magic is really about two beings who are both highly conscious, super conscious, coming together and using now four serpents, right? So double the Kundalini energy to strengthen each other's Ka bodies, as well as sending out energy waves through the orgasm throughout time and space. So this is, you hear about it all the time, manifesting with sex, edging, right? Getting to the edge of the orgasm, but not actually going over the edge, so that when you do go over the edge, there's this big, powerful burst, and then you're able to nest or sit within the energy of that orgasm, right? Like the ooey gooey, just like, oh, and really continue to radiate that higher love. Mary Magdalene and Yeshua for 3 years came together fairly often and were strengthening each other's bodies. Mostly, Mary Magdalene was strengthening Yeshua's Ka body because she knew, as well as he knew, that eventually one day he was going to be asked to sacrifice his human form and to pass through the portal of death, to go through the underworld, and to be able to show up on the other side, to be resurrected. He knew, like he was prophesized about, right? Mother Mary having an immaculate conception, giving birth to a human who knew that he was divinity incarnate and then who sacrifices himself for the good of the world. Well, the good of the world is really just to prove to us that we can do it too. It wasn't all this whole like, let me take on your sins and I'm going to go through it for you. No, it was a proof like, look, I'm just a man who just happens to be born aware that I am the divine. All of us are that, okay? I say it all the time, the Christ as you, the Christ as Karen, the Christ as Yeshua, the Christ as Mother Mary, as Mary Magdalene, the Christ as Zachary, the Christ as anyone who's watching. That's the energy that Yeshua knew. He knew that he was Christ consciousness incarnated in human form from the moment he was born. The rest of us have to remember. The rest of us don't have Mother Mary as our mom reminding us that we're prophesized about, even though we are all prophesized about. The whirlwind rainbow of the Hopi tradition, the return of White Buffalo Woman in the Sioux tradition, the uh, rainbow serpent of the Australia Aboriginal traditions. You have the 144,000 children of God from Revelations, the Mayan fifth world prophecies. That's all us. Literally, it's all us. So we have been prophesized about. We just don't recognize that it's us. This is what I'm going to be teaching about in Playing with Dragons, actually, which launches tomorrow. This 11-week course of epic proportions of literally the most amazing thing I have ever put together ever. You're going to learn everything that you can learn about knowing yourself as this divine incarnated form here to change the world. That's what Yeshua was here to do. That's what Mary Magdalene was here to do. They did that by strengthening their Ka body. I call your Ka body your golden dragon light body. This came from the Sophia Code, from those of you who might have read that text, where Kaya Ra leaves off at the end of the Sophia Code with Sophia Dragon Tribe, the Sophia Dragons, key code 777. That's where my work begins. I start there. We don't work with a lot of ascended masters. We definitely have conversations with them, but this is about knowing yourself as an ascended master who has come back, right? A bodhisattva, someone who has decided that they're not going to go live in nirvana until every other being on this planet has the ability to live in nirvana. And you're not going out there preaching it for the merit of it. You're doing it because you know that speaking your truth like it's your art is the only job that you actually have on this planet right now. Showing up 100% as who you are, what you are, and how you serve. Who you are is a fractal of the divine. What you are is the divine incarnated, manifested in physical form, and how you serve is by singing your own song or radiating your own unique frequency, living your own unique, extraordinary, legendary life. That's it. That's how you serve. You show up, you know that you're divine, and you have a whole lot of fucking fun. You experience the full aesthetic of life, all the downs, all the ups, all the joys, all the sorrows, all the pain, all the pleasure. And you do it in your own unique way. And in that way, you become a way shower. You show others the way to live as the divine incarnate. You begin to perform miracles, things that other people are like, I really don't know how you did that. Your life becomes magic all the time. Yes. Oh my goodness, I was just having this download this morning on the beach. Hell yeah. Good, sweet, Christopher. That's amazing. Okay. So, when you understand that Yeshua was training his whole life to go through the Eye of Horus, right? To go through the portal of death. And you go and you compare that to other stories, right? Krishna in the Hindu tradition, Horus in the Egyptian tradition, right? You Inanna in the Babylonian tradition. Inanna is actually the first story about resurrection. 3 days in the underworld, and all of a sudden she's resurrected as the queen of heaven and earth. Okay. This idea of 3 days in the underworld, of having to become totally still, to give your mortal body completely up and surrender completely to the divinity within, is found in traditions all over the world, right? all over the world. I was raised Unitarian Universalist. I learned about so many different traditions when I was a kid, and I was probably about 12 years old when I really started connecting the dots about how it's a general theme of the story, usually around the same time, right? So something big happened, or at least it was big enough that it was passed down from tradition to tradition that it spread all over the world. There's even certain Native American traditions that talk about similar things. I don't remember. There's so many. I've been doing so much research, and I do not want to like incorrectly say which tribe or any of that, but you can see it. You can find it everywhere. And then you realize, guess what? Yeshua was living a regular life, right? He was living a very regular life. He was preaching. That's fine. He was out teaching the common man. He had a mom. He had his stepdad, Joseph, right? He had a brother. He had a wife. He had a daughter. He never got to meet Sarah, unfortunately, or um, I don't believe. I don't remember if Mary Magdalene was pregnant with Sarah or if Sarah was just born, but you don't really hear about Sarah a whole lot. Because after the crucifixion, what happened? Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary split. They literally left. They went to Egypt for a while, then they ended up in France, and then actually Mary Magdalene died in England. She had to make that whole trip in the early days of like the 0 hundreds, right? Like 33 BC, making that giant journey. That journey is hard as enough right now in 2021. Can you imagine it in 33? I guess not 33 BC, 33 AD. Freaking ridiculous, right? But we're doing it. We're doing it now, right? The better works than these will be known, right? There are so many times that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and other prophets start talking about how there are others who are going to come, there's other work to be done, that greater things will be done. Again, talking about us, talking about these great beings who could see into the future, as many of us see into the future. I know all of you out there are clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant, clairsmelliant, whatever. You have these psychic abilities. So did Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. So they could see us. They knew that we were going to come. They knew that these ancient souls that were going to be born fully equipped with their old knowledge of past lives, not just from Earth, but other planetary systems, were going to be born at a time of great turmoil, at a time where the whole planet was going through a dark night of the soul, and they were going to come and raise the consciousness. They were going to come as light bearers of bringing the Christ light to earth and to help the earth, the whole of humanity, shift away from the shadows, to shift away from pain and suffering and anger and lack, right? And fear. That is our job. You know this already. You know it's your job because it's probably your actual fucking job right now. You're either a coach or an entrepreneur, or if you're not doing that full time, you're trying to, you got a side hustle, you got a podcast, you got a live stream, right? I show up every week doing my live stream. Yes, I also make a business of this, right? I have one-on-one clients throughout the world. I've got group programs. I have all sorts of ways that you can work with me so that you too can know yourself as the fractal of the divine, right? There's the all, and then there's Christ. Christ, literally, Christ consciousness just means the separation from the all, right? We wouldn't know ourselves as separate beings if we didn't have the Christ consciousness. We would just be all floating in the all, in the ether, in like the cosmic soup, right? Not aware. There is no separation. When you hear about unity consciousness or coming back to the singularity, there is no concept of separation within source. So the only way that we can even conceive of source at all is by separating ourselves from it. That's Christ consciousness. That's it. That's why I say Yeshua, right? Or Krishna or Horus. All of them are, or Karen, right? We're all the Christ. We're all the Christ because we're all fractals of the divine, all fractals of the all, and we're aware that we are. We're aware that we're separate from the all, at least. That's what defines Christ consciousness. That's everyone. Every man, woman, and child on every planet throughout the solar system is the Christ is working as them. right? That's what we mean by holographic fractal universe. We're all reflections of each other. We're all constantly reflecting to each other the work that needs to be done to come even into more knowing of ourselves, and then the Christ as us, so that we too can perform miracles. We too can feed thousands with just a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. We too can raise the dead. We too can cure the sick, right? How many of us are healers, right? How many of us know that we can use the energy, the chakra pillars, the heart magnet, the electromagnet of the heart, the brain, the neurons, the quantum physics, all of these things to heal the body, mind, body, and soul, heal on all levels, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level, right? I cured myself of fibromyalgia. I cured myself of degenerative arthritis. I lost half my body weight in mass. Not like weight, but half my body mass. I was suicidal, depressed, bipolar, anxious, all of the things. Suburban housewife. That was me 3 years ago. Literally. Go look at some of my live streams or my pictures from 3 years ago. As far as I'm concerned, I get resurrected almost monthly, right? I'm constantly shifting. So let's look at that too. While Yeshua himself physically died and was able to then hold his physical form through his light body. Hi, Stella. When Yeshua did that, that was his choice, right? He wanted to hold on to his same physical appearance through his light body so that when his physical form fell away and died, his light body form was still there. We too can do this. We're actually going to start doing it here in a few minutes when we do the Golden Dragon Light Body activation. Golden Dragon Light Body activation, right? We're going to start interfacing with our dragon technology in our human form so that we can also, if we choose to, when we pass away, we could just step out, right? Like unzip the meat suit and just step out as ourselves. In the meantime, as we're learning to do that, we're going to go through ego deaths, like 10,000 ego deaths at least by the time we get to that point. Meaning, why don't I levitate, right? Why can't I just sit here right now and command myself to levitate? The reason is because I still have too many belief structures about gravity. That's it. I was trained from a very, very young age, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes, to believe in gravity. To believe that if I take this and I drop it, it's going to go down. Right? It's just fucking apples, man. Right? It's going to drop. Now, I will sit here and I will. Okay, I got it. So I'm and it's so false, right? So the only reason why I'm not levitating or causing this to float is because somewhere in my belief system is still a strong enough belief that when you drop it, it falls, or that a human can't float off the ground. What it will take for me to levitate, truly and honestly, is for me to just keep letting go, to continue to die, to continue to shift and to change every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. I tell my clients all the time, I never wake up the same person 2 days in a row. Very much like Pocahontas, like that, right? Like, what I like most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice. That's how I am about my life. I can't live the same day twice. I'm not ever going to be the same person 2 days in a row, ever. I lived that life. For 30 fucking years, I was the same person over and over and over and over again. Now that I know the trick, now that I know how to be super conscious, now that I'm living in a magical, miraculous, amazing, prosperous, ridiculously, like, I can't believe this is my life, and I know the way that I do that is by going through ego death after ego death. What do I mean by ego death? Just what I just said, changing belief structures, right? I believed I was an overweight, depressed suburban housewife with fibromyalgia and degenerative arthritis that was destined to live in pain and suffering with no money in the bank, and figured that by the time my kid was 18, my youngest, that I could just kill myself. Literally. That's who I was. I know it's hard to believe now, but that's who I was. That version of me doesn't exist anymore, right? It's like trying to talk to me about my old house that I used to live in. Okay, I've lived in this house for 29 years, but you know what I mean. We've all seen that little thing, right? Trying to hurt me, bringing up my past is like trying to rob my old house. I don't live there anymore, right? It's the same thing. I can know that that version of me existed, but I can also know that she is dead and in the ground, right? Don't have those flares. Haven't had a fibro flare in literally 2.5 years, possibly longer. Degenerative arthritis, my scans come back like I'm a completely healthy, normal 32-year-old woman, which I am. Not depressed at all. Like, super excited about life, in so much pleasure and bliss and joy all the time. And even when I do get sad, I soak it up. Ugh. When I go into my holy rage and I swamp and I fucking freak out, I use the energy of the freak out so that afterwards I'm not exhausted and feel like nothing happened. I'm able to focus my rage, right? There's a lot to be pissed off about in this time. FYI, like as someone who's extremely politically active, who was raised to believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all people, I literally don't understand racial injustice, any sort of bigotry, any sort of like ism, like classism, racism, um, sexism, genderism. Like they don't fit in my brain. I don't understand how other people think that way. So what do? Oh, I'm going to be president of the United States in 2032. Hi, nice to meet you. That's a knowing. I go and I meditate in the Oval Office every morning. I sit there and I astral project to the Oval Office and I sit in there and I eat up all of the energy and I just love feeling that way. And then I come back and I hold that feeling in my body. This is something that I'm teaching and playing with dragons. It's probably the most important thing. Knowing how to hold the feeling in your body of the thing that you desire more than anything and using it as a tracking system. Oh, am I in alignment? Am I in the timeline that I want to be in? How do I feel? Do I feel like I do when I'm meditating in the Oval Office? No. Then I'm not on a timeline that's going to bring me to the Oval Office. Time to shift. This is again an ego death. It took me a long time to believe in psychic powers. I had a client who I would get on my calls with her every week and she would tell me about the aliens that she talked to and this clients that had a psychic like a brilliant clairvoyant moment and I would just sit there and be like, "Holy shit. People actually believe that psychics are a thing. I should probably get on board seeing as this is my client." And this client was like world famous, amazing. She rest in peace. She was amazing. Like, published author, helping Fortune 1000 companies channel alien technology and spiritual tech through strengthening their psychic abilities. It's fucking cool, guys. Like, it is amazing. But I had to become a person who believed that that shit actually existed. Because I can promise you, fibromyalgia me from 2010, 2015, definitely didn't believe in that at all. Right? So, getting back to the resurrection. When you realize that the Kundalini energy that you have awoken within you already, for those of you who have had a Kundalini awakening, for those of you who are doing pranayama, like you're doing breath work every day, right? You're doing your breathing, you're doing your meditating, you're using that energy within you. The way that Yeshua was able to go through the portal of death, hold on to his physical form, like the form that his physical body would make, but actually just within his electrons and his light body, was through sex magic, was through very strong levels of alchemy and understanding that he had the power to do that, that he could hold on to his consciousness. It's the same way that people channel ascended masters, right? And they're able to have conversations with Saint Germain or Merlin or Isis or Hathor or Joan of Arc or whoever, and they can see apparitions and all of that. These ascended masters all have the same ability. It's very much like that scene in Star Wars where Luke astral projects across the universe, right? And Kylo Ren is like, spoiler alert. Um, and then Kylo Ren realizes that it's just an astral projection of Luke. And Luke goes back, you see this scene, and he's just like, oh, I did it. And he looks into the sun, and he just, and all of his clothes fall away. And he just becomes one with the Force. But then later on, there's like another time in another movie where you kind of see this like outline of him, right? That's the exact same thing. It's the ability to hold on to your consciousness instead of slipping through the veil, forgetting, right? Because that's the game on the earth plane. I know it's kind of kinky, kind of fun. Every time you die, you forget that you were just alive and then you pass through it. Like one of my favorite quotes ever is that the light at the end of the tunnel is just the exit of another vagina, right? But we forget having the strength within your Ka body, within your dragon like body, within your Chi body, within your life force, whatever it is you want to call it, is the way that you can be resurrected too, if that's something that you choose, right? I am done after this lifetime. I want to go float around in the cosmic suit for a couple millennia. It'll be like a day for you guys, but it will be a few millennia for me. Okay? You all have this ability. We can all levitate. We can all bilocate. We can all astral radiate at a different frequency than us. This is why you have so many people talking to the Orions, the Orions, the Lyrians, the Pleiadians, the Octurians, the Sirians, right? All of these star nations are now becoming more and more available for us to speak to. Why? Because more and more people are reaching a level in consciousness in which they're speaking to these beings, and therefore it's becoming globally accessible. It's like the 100 Monkeys experiment, right? So they went to the Galapagos Islands and they gave the monkeys on one of the islands a tool and trained the monkeys on how to use it, right? And so all the monkeys on this island are all using this tool. Well, then they went to another island where there were monkeys and they didn't train the monkeys, but they just like left a couple of the tools around the island. And they went to a couple different islands and just like stopped and like dropped off the tool. Then they came back and they looked, and there's no way that any of the monkeys from the first island could get to the other. The monkey mind consciousness. This has been proven multiple times that you can teach one part. Watch the other monkey use the tool ever, they somehow knew how to use the tool. It's the exact same thing that we're doing with higher consciousness by being a way shower, by being in alignment, being by being you, knowing who you are as a fractal of the divine, knowing what you are as the divine manifested in form, knowing how you serve by singing your own song, radiating your own unique story, living your own legendary freaking life, and playing with dragons and having an amazing time experiencing all of the dualism, all of the duality, all of the delicious polarity that is living on this planet. The whole fucking reason why you come to this planet is to experience duality. I don't know why y'all are trying to become non-dualist, right? Once you figure out non-dualism, that's great. It's cool. But that's not the point. The point isn't to be a shaman hiding in the woods. The point is to live your life with the knowing that you are a shaman, with the knowing that you are a holy one, with the knowing that you can heal the world through your heart, through just being and radiating highest love to every person, every being, every situation. All right. How is it that I'm going to become president of the United States with all this anger and rage? Well, I'll tell you what, I might be angry and rageful, but I still love everyone. I love every person. I love every circumstance. I love it all because it's the only way it could be. And if I came at it with hatred, then I wouldn't be able to find any solutions. I can be angry like a mom, like that angry mother bear, but that doesn't mean that I don't love my kids any less. It just means that in that moment, I'm fucking pissed, right? And it is absolutely going to take a will that is wrathful and righteous. This is a spiritual revolution, y'all. This is not just a love and light party, right? It's not high vibes only. Saying high vibes only is literally cutting yourself off at the head and denying the body, the flesh, the ooey gooey carnalism that is living on this planet. So many people are supernovaing. So a supernova is when you can't hold the light. When your physical body cannot hold the light in your form, and you supernova, right? A star that supernovas, it blows up. So these are those beings like my client who was so high consciousness, she wasn't able to hold it in her body and she's no longer in this earthly plane. She's one of dozens, if not more, people that I know of in the last few years that have left their physical form as they were ascending, as they were getting higher and higher in consciousness, because there wasn't enough knowing of the feeling, right? What did I say? Am I going to be teaching you and playing with dragons? The feeling, like actually holding the feeling of being a god in your body, feeling and knowing the vastness, the huge, huge power that you have as a dragon, right? It's very much like the genie. Great cosmic power, itty bitty living space. Our itty bitty living space is our physical human body. But we do have insane, amazing, gigantic cosmic power that we have access to. And when we learn how to hold it in our bodies, when we learn how to play with that energy in a way that allows it to move and bounce and expand, we don't have as many contractions. We don't have as many like up, down, up, down, up, down. We don't have as many moments of like, I'm going to show up for my clients for like 6 weeks and then I'm going to go hide and not talk to anyone for 6 months. You're able to be more consistent. You're able to show up brightly. You're able to do it all day, every day because you fucking love it. And when you do take those breaks, you don't feel guilty. You don't feel like you need to explain yourself. You just need to go take a little dragon nap for a little while. And that's okay too. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Anything coming up for you right now? Because then we're going to jump into the Dragon Light Body activation and I'm going to let y'all go. Monthly resurrections, yes. Totally monthly resurrections. That's the thing. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do the Golden Dragon Light Body activation. So the Golden Dragon Light Body is essentially, you can think of it as a suit of armor. Okay. It's got the dragon energy. So, dragons being the birthers of all sovereign creations, dragons being the alpha and the omega, the Shakti and the Shiva, right? The Kundalini, the ability to balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine in one being. That's what a dragon is. That you're all fucking dragons, but I'm the dragon doula. My job is to remind you that you're all dragons and to teach you how to harness the power that comes with these mighty beings that are throughout all of the myths and all of the ages in all of the galaxies, in all of the universes ever. Because everything was born through the heart womb of a dragon. There's not a single thing in creation that was not first birthed through a heart womb of a dragon. So, we're going to be activating within you your own dragon light body. So if you've only ever seen your kundalini as like this energy that goes up and down your chakra pillars, maybe comes into your hands or feet a little bit, but you haven't really been able to interface with that chi, prana, life force, kundalini energy in every cell of your body, that's what we're going to be doing. Again, it also kind of feels like armor. So it becomes this point where other people's energy can come and try to hit you, but because you're so interfaced with this spiritual technology, you are dictating how all energy is received. Again, other people have other tools that they use to do this. This is the tool that I use. Golden Dragon Light Body. It also helps so that when you're doing your sex magic practices or your other alchemies that you're doing, you can start imagining this armor around you and you're able to go and like repair it and go fix it. You can notice, oh, there's a weakness in my back, there's a weakness in my hips, and you can go in and you can strengthen the armor, and that will then interface to your human physical body as well. So fun. I love doing these activation inside Playing with Dragons. We have an activation every single week, so there's 11 total. There's 3 modules every week. Oh my gosh, it's so much. It's so good. It's so good. We like don't officially launch until tomorrow, but just because it's so good, I'm gonna leave you guys the link right now. Okay, the link is superconsciousleaders.com/playing with dragons. I'm so excited. On today. It's fucking amazing. Okay. No, I don't. I'm fine. Okay. It's a lot of power, Stella. It's a lot of power. It happens. Bear with me. Bear with me. It's showing I still have full connection. All right. So go ahead and get comfortable, either laying down or sitting up straight. I would recommend that you sit up for this if you can, but I know a lot of people like to meditate laying down. If you can sit, that'll be better. Standing even would be awesome. If I stand, I'm gonna like mess up my whole camera situation though. So sitting nice and tall, great posture, right? Chest up, head up as if you're wearing a crown, shoulders nice little curve in your spine, nothing too big, but just enough that you feel supported. And you should be sitting on the bony part of your butt. So if you have to literally like go in underneath there and lift your booty up so that you're sitting on the bony part of your butt, do that. So then you have a nice straight line. Okay. Taking a nice deep breath here and exhaling. We're going to do a little bit of warming up of the spine just because it's super important. The Kundalini does originate in the spine. The spine is the 13th articulation in the Mayan traditions. It's the master articulation. So, you know, there are many yogis that have said that your vitality in your youth exists in your spine. If you don't have a flexible spine, then you're not going to have a flexible life. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with Sufi grinds. What you're going to do is put your hands on your hips. And you're going to make big circles so your chest shines outwards and then back around like this. And then up. And then back around. Okay. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the back. And rotate the other way. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the back. Perfect. One more. And then come back to center. Now this one, you're going to put your hands on your shoulders like this. You're going to inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. In and out through your nose. So however fast or slow you can do it, be careful. Again, we're waking up the spine. So if your spine doesn't twist as fast or as far as mine, that's fine. It's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the center. Oh, big stretch. Stretch up. Reaching. And clap. And bring it down. And then we're going to do some neck whirls. Again, really careful and gentle on your neck. Don't overexert yourself. Just taking a few rotations. I've had a few whiplash injuries in my life, so I am really, really, really careful with my neck. Okay, and then go ahead. Mm. Sometimes one side's a little bit more poppy than the other. It's okay. There we go. Okay. That's it. Your spine is now awake. You can probably feel that, right? Nice and loosey goosey. So now we're just going to take a second to actually wake up the two serpents in our spine. So again, the black serpent on the left, the feminine, and the golden circle on the right, the masculine, golden serpent. And they're going to be coming up the very bottom, the triangle bone at the bottom of your spine. Plexus, throat, third eye, and then heart, and then meeting at the third eye. Okay. Starting at the root, crossing at the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, and then coming to meet at the third eye so that their heads like are leaning into each other. Okay. We'll just do this with our breath. So when you breathe in, imagining your breath really filling up your pelvic bowl. And then when you exhale, sending the energy up your channels and out through the top of your head. Okay. So inhaling, waking the Kundalini serpents up, and then exhaling, sending that energy up. Okay, inhaling again. And you can even add a Kegel here, so adding holding or a Mula Band. So this is holding the root chakra, squeezing as if you're closing off, like if you're in the middle of urinating and you like were to stop the flow of urine, that's what you're doing. So when you exhale, you can do that. When you inhale, you want to drop your pelvic floor though. So like even feeling like you're pushing out a little bit, you want those muscles to go in both directions. Okay, at this point, the Kundalini should be like really moving and circulating in your heart. Really feeling a moment here to like open this heart center up even further, connecting to this Easter, connecting to Christ consciousness, connecting to this sun day, right? We're celebrating the sun, bringing in these golden solar codes. And one more deep inhale in. And exhaling all the way up. And your two serpents of the Kundalini should be sitting facing each other right at your third eye. Just sitting here meditating, feeling their energy spiraling up your spine, and then allowing that energy to now go to all of your other joints. At this point, if you need to like move your joints or move at all, feel free to. I'm not a static meditator. So if you need to yawn, if you need to stretch, if you need to do anything like that, do it. Your body needs the release. It's more important that you listen to your body than it is to like try to hold still like a statue where you're not going to be able to hear the meditation coming in. So your ankles should feel activated, your knees should feel activated, your hips, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, and your spine. So all 13 articulations feeling nice and warm, feeling filled with this energy, this kundalini, this prana, this life force. Calling in now the golden solar dragons, the lunar silver dragons, the alpha dragon, the omega dragon, the golden Christed dragon, the white and gold dragon from Lyra, the golden Atlantean dragon, the rose pink dragon, Kuan Yin's pink dragon. Also, the blue dragon from the Pleiades, the orange gold dragon from Arcturus, the gold green dragon from Sirius, the dusty pink dragon from Andromeda, all of our star being families, all the dragons from across the galaxies. Calling in also the elemental dragons, earth, air, fire, and water, and all combinations thereof. Fully surrounded now in a circle of dragons. These high consciousness beings are here to support you and witness you being born again as dragon, the Christ as you, reclaiming your power, reclaiming the knowing of your worth as a fractal of the divine manifested in form, creating your own legendary life and singing that song as loud as you can from the rooftops, shining bright, knowing that you're not here to save the world. You're here to be a part of the world and to witness the shift of an entire planet from third dimension to fifth dimensional consciousness. During this meditation, I just want you to really connect to your body. And then at any point, if you start to feel wings growing or armor or scales or anything like that, just let it happen. Again, the golden dragon body feels very much like a suit of armor, but it's like a dragon armor. So it does have claws, it does have big old teeth, it has big giant wings, okay? But it interfaces with your human body, okay? So go ahead and just imagine and call in your golden dragon light body, activating. Again, it's going to be activating from your spine outwards, from your joint outwards, so it's going to like pop out almost like click, 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 coming from the outside, sorry, from the inside out. And then the dragons are coming and they're adding their own energy fields to help really make it this impenetrable suit of armor. This it's actually a semi-permeable membrane because you do allow the vibrations and the energies that you require in, but there's, you won't be harmed. You become impenetrable to the bullshit. You become unfuckwithable. That's how you do it. So go ahead and receive this activation. Io no vete kaya neo no treiko e no veatiana e to vetaya pato vole paia. Hanavanion dove notre co Cristo e no inanavani Krishna e no vagaya nais sahato. Amariandi kovotaya e no vadagio no vatiano. Ambariongo vesinaya. Henovate kaya, Amarigoto kaya nabito no vetaya, Henovate ngo volopaya novana, Henovate kaya, Obarakala panavaka. Karinasa, Karinasa, Karina Satonovane Hashra Kaleponopaya. Ananegalo ponone Cristo, Cristo, in the Draco Draco Lope Ticana. Hata pata, hento copetona, he o pasa. E no paia nova, leo nove, e no bottega, e nove cata vene ometa, e nove te anave anetova, ashata Vanate anahasha, Eno asranane anagari no minono di lonzon de gale di lionza, Ebotoga, Enovati anana manove tave kai alla panone drego Cristo drego maya nana gaia gaia pachamama tayo. Io beai e tai vio minana. E nove tai e ta calapatai yo masitove yo mia. E novata vata yo mia mio. Ama nove calapatova. E no voto e no vana dreco. E neoma. Hey, no way. Ebite furuvataya, avere tu treco Cristo nova, e nove terra novela norigo, e nana karen dili onze asra patikaya, e nova terra novela passa. Eu sei. Feeling that interface coming online. That full dragon light body fully connected to your human awareness. Feeling those wings, feeling those talons, those teeth. The senses are all like hyper aware. Feeling that fire in your belly, that giant heart womb organ where your creations and your values are now locked together. You're always willing to fight for and create what it is you truly value. And no matter what, you will achieve that goal. And you know that no one and no thing has any power over you at all because you are a dragon. The Christ as you, right here, right now, as dragon, living your most legendary life and playing the game that brings you the most joy, pleasure, success. All beings. Slowly coming back into your body, coming back into the room. Connecting now. Blinking your eyes open. You might be seeing a lot more colors. All of these things are very normal when you first get activated with your dragon light body. You might be hearing like people down the street. So again, being very discerning with your these gifts that come online. If you have any questions, if anything starts coming up for you in the next couple of days, let me know. We're going to be talking a whole lot about this more and playing with dragons. So I really hope that you join us in there because it's going to explain so much more. There's 33 like insanely comprehensive modules for you to go through. So learning how to actually use this spiritual technology is absolutely a part of what you are going to be learning, but you're also welcome to reach out if anything happens in your life. Feel free to ask any questions or let me know what sort of experiences you had. I'd love to hear. Mm. Let's see. Hello, Instagram. Love you guys. Okay. Looks like we're good here. I love you all. Thanks for being here today. Let me just double check if there's any questions on Facebook, Instagram. I'm gonna lose you in about a minute. So I love you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Make sure you drink lots of water. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, however you're celebrating this holy day. Go out and get some sun. Delicious solar codes coming in right now. So amazing. I just love it. Love, love, love it. I love spending my Sundays with you. So thank you so much for making it possible for me to spend my Sundays with you all. Okay, let's see. A miracle happened to me. My cat went missing last year. She showed up alive during Passover. I thought she was dead. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That is nuts. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I'm so glad that your cat's okay though. That's good. Let's see, any other comments? Okay, guys, I think we're good. I love you all. Thanks for being here today. It's been such an amazing time. Playing with Dragons launches. It launches tomorrow. But if you want to join right now, send me a DM. I have a little something something for anyone who joins today that will give you a little bit more of an incentive and access. It's $1,000 off if you join today. So there's that. The link is in the comments here on Facebook. I will put the link in my bio, Instagram. I love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful freaking day. I'm off to go do all the Easter things with my family, and we'll see you tomorrow. Kickoff, live stream, Playing with Dragons, 11 weeks to being a living legends and changing the world, which you're all already doing. So let's go have some fun, shall we? Okay. I love you.